This is the application for the user management, and this user management can be managed at the global level or at the local level. The control points for these applications are the business area and the organizational unit. This example or this screen shows how a centrally controlled or centrally monitored application will look like. And if the same application for local security license officers, it will look like this. The only difference is the business area and the org units are contained for the areas where the SLO is allowed to work on. This application is divided into three categories: the reports category, and the SOD category, and the user provisioning category. And on the reports, you have a detailed description of all the enterprise roles. And an enterprise role can be for foundation or an extension or for support. And these roles, when you click on the details, will give you all the characteristics of the enterprise role, starting from the description of the role and what are all the processes that role will be involved, and what is the composition of the role, meaning an enterprise role can have more than one enterprise role or more than one task groups. And if that entitles for a structural authorization, how does that going to work? And what are the mapping instructions, and what are all the organizational alignment in terms of getting this role to be approved for assignment to a particular user, and additional notes explaining if there are any dependencies for this functional role or enterprise role to another enterprise role in the organization. The next part would be the role composition. The role composition explains the role and the pillar and the module, and also explains if this enterprise role consists of other enterprise roles such as a display, and also the technical roles and the transactions and the descriptions involved. This is an example for a benefits administrator, which is a part of the HR functionality. And same thing can be seen for foundation, where you see exactly the same thing. The third one will be the user map. The user map is the application which is going to show the user their organizational alignment, in this case their position, the org units, and the cost center and personal area they belong to. And this data is coming from the Umoja HR side, and if the user who is having the access to the system does not have the HR data, these two areas will be blank. And this application gives you two basic views. One is the structural authorization, which explains if this user create a budget document, who will be the budget managers and who will be the certifying managers. And the next view gives what this user does to the organization. So in this example, this particular staff member is responsible for a budget manager for this org unit, and he has a display functionality and a travel certification functionality for these funds and fund centers, and also the time manager for that particular org unit. The third one is the description of the workflow functionality built within the system. It gives a quick real-time guide of how these processes are orchestrated inside Umoja. In this example, if the leave request has two steps, a simple leave request, and the option one could be created by the staff member themselves, or it could be entered by the time administrator, and the approval goes to the time manager. For an example of a foundation process is an accounts payable document approval. So the creation of the account payable document, account receivable document is MINUSTA, and it goes to an approval person. The next one is the office map. It explains how this office is distributed in terms of the functionalities. So in this example, for this particular business area, MINUSTA, who are all the budget managers, who are all the certifying officers, who are all the time managers at what level. And also it talks about a little bit of the relationships for the workflow for the foundation, which heavily relies on fund center and fund mapping. The next one will be the two things will be the new user for ESS. In this example, or the used case for this particular application, is a staff member has been recruited, pre-boarded, and is onboarding, and that person needs to have an ESS enterprise role. And this report gives a quick view for the security license officers to create the I need request for the new users who are requiring only the ESS role. So this gives you an overview of all these index numbers who have been created recently, and whether they have EIDMS or not, and the username and the employee group in which the HR data has been created. And also gives you three variations of the EIDMS, Umoja HR details, and the assigned roles in case if they already have assigned roles. And transfer and initiate ESS triggers the process of sending this data to the EIDMS system, and so that the ESS function can be initiated. And the next one will be the OAC report, which basically tells you like which manager has been assigned an OAC, and it tells you the real-time OAC status of the office at that point in time. The two other reports which we are planning to build is the SOD report, which basically tells you the combination of the two enterprise roles and the type of violations or the segregation of duty risks they might pose due to the combination of the roles. As we explained, each and every enterprise role is independent of SOD, and however, when they merge it with another one, that can create a segregation of duties. And this report explains you like what are all the segregation of duties which have been identified, whether it is mitigated or not mitigated, but still exist in the system as such. Thank you so much.